Hey, this is Robert Grant from crowdconversion.com, and today we're going to be speaking about how to go and build powerful relationships that go and bring big financial rewards. And specifically, we're going to be focusing on Facebook and Skype. And the reason is that Facebook has enabled the Skype platform to actually be used on the website. And Skype has just been one of the biggest golden gifts to my business. And I never stop thinking about how it would have been impossible to go and do some of the stuff that I do today in business even 5 years ago, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of those secrets. So in the training, we're going to be explaining ways that you can leverage Skype yourself and Facebook in your own business, and how you can take your contacts that you make on Facebook and turn them into real relationships and business partnerships too. We're going to explain why you should avoid any automated approach to adding Facebook or Skype contacts too. We're going to walk you through as well the strategies that we use to go and get people to share their Skype IDs and get into real face-to-face conversations. You're going to learn the benefits of using Skype as a communication tool and why it's actually better than many paid services too. Now, first of all, what on earth is Skype? So first of all, it's got many different amazingly powerful features. You can go and call to anywhere in the world. You can do video conferencing as well without leaving your desk, in their own words. You can do conferencing, which is multi-person meetings without, any difficult setup. And you can have like a bunch of people on the camera too. And you can also go and have instant messenger chat, and you can also transfer files to people. So pretty much like Skype has become the modern day Rolodex, and for me, it's absolutely gold. Literally my list of Skype contacts are the most important people in my life, and the way that I use it, it's like I've just come over to the States for the first time in I think oh my God, 17 years. And I went to parties where, there were affiliates of ours and different people there, and they jumped on me, okay? Literally jumped on me. Who is this guy? Everyone asked, who nobody's ever gone and seen, and managed to go and build a 7-figure business just using Facebook and Skype. Well, I'm going to let you into some of my secrets. So, first of all, it's important to know that Skype has become the best place to go and store your inner circle of contacts that you meet on Facebook. And we've spoken about that elsewhere in the training. But you really do want to go and start building an inner circle. And if you haven't already, go and build yourself a mastermind. It was the single most powerful thing that I ever did in my life that completely changed everything for me. Now, for many people who do business online, it's become the equivalent to the modern day Rolodex, as we said before. And it can easily become your most valuable asset if you use it properly. And this is what it looks like if you want to go to the Facebook Skype integration page. And on the 10th of May 2011, Microsoft actually purchased Skype for $8.5 billion. As Microsoft are major shareholders in Facebook, Skype technology obviously has now become integrated into Facebook. Obvious to go and see that coming. And this has gone and brought video calling and greatly improving the stability of Facebook chat, which used to drive me crazy because of its instability. Skype makes Facebook an even more valuable social networking tool now. So it's given you the ability now to go and call your Facebook friends, even if they don't have a Skype account. Now that is really powerful. Facebook will soon be using this in their mobile platform that they've been building in secret, and that is going to be off the hook. So let's look at what your goal should be. So first of all, on a fan page, your primary aim should be to transition your fans to your own email database. Make no mistake. On your personal profile, your primary aim should be to go and build deeper, more intimate relationships with a selected group of people. Okay? Preferably people who are influencers and are going to give you reach into their network of friends. There's so many stupid people out there saying, delete all of the people that you don't know from your Facebook account. And that's just ridiculous. I'm talking about people who aren't fans. It's just absolutely plain stupid saying stuff like that. You want to have your core network in your personal profile, your most active fans, people like that. And on your fan page, make no mistake when I said before that you want to start getting people on your own email database because you want to have those contacts contactable by you on your own terms. And anybody who goes and tells you otherwise, other stuff works, but you'll lose out on the long-term relationship with your fans if you don't start getting them on your own email database. So why is this all important? So first of all, you can quickly strengthen weak relationships and casual acquaintances using Facebook. You can reach your business contacts and have a good excuse to go and re-establish contact with them too. You can network through the extended network, and you can also ask for or give introductions. And that has been the biggest secret to my success. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit more in a minute. So before we do that, I want to just go through some precautions that you should take and some pitfalls, potential pitfalls too. Okay. Always send a message before you initiate a video call. Remember that some people find video really sort of in your face and intimidating, and they might prefer to just go and chat or communicate via email or phone. And they will take it to be, some people will take it to be, you know, a little bit aggressive. This dude's popping up in my face on video and I don't even know who the hell he is. And also, some people are insecure because not everybody looks like their profile picture in real life. It never ceases to shock me how many people I discover in their 50s when they look like they're in their 20s on Facebook. So be considerate to people, respect people's time and privacy. If they're busy, they might not want to be contacted so directly. Maybe you need to go and arrange an appointment with them first. But having said that, there's huge benefits of face-to-face meeting. And if you can't meet somebody in person, then obviously the next best thing that you can do is meet them on video chat. Now, on your personal profile, once you've gone and added somebody as a friend, the next step is to get their permission for a video call or to give you their Skype ID. You don't need to say, hey, can I have a video call with me? It's like, whoa, okay? You don't need to do that. Just say, hey, you know, would you be up for a quick conversation on Skype? Or you can obviously ask for their telephone number. But Skype, I don't know why, I find is, you know, it seems a little bit less in your face than a telephone call. But if you go and do the Skype call, obviously that you can go and meet them face to face in real time, as we said. And a person who has met you in this way is much less likely to forget who you are in the future, because if you only speak to them via email or instant messenger or Facebook, it's kind of really impersonal compared to obviously speaking to them face to face. And that way you become a person that they know, not just some sort of, you know, dude out there in, you know, in cyberspace that they met once and can't even remember where. So when you connect with somebody, ask them for their Skype ID too. Adding a friend on Facebook is less personal and obviously more easily accepted than giving out your Skype ID. Get a Skype ID too, as they might not regularly be on Facebook. Obviously, by the way, do this only for people that's going to be important in your network. You have to do it to every randomer who's on your fan page, but the important people who've got a big following, people who've got a big influence, people who are going to do great stuff for you in your business, those are the guys that you want to start focusing on and get their Skype IDs. Skype is like having somebody, like giving somebody your telephone number and permission to go contact you at any time, literally, because you can hit them up in instant messenger at any time that you pretty much choose. In fact, I always make a joke, if you want to ruin somebody's business, introduce them into Skype, because they'll be on it all day and be disturbed all the time. So I don't recommend having it on all day and all night. You know, literally switch it off when there's busy times for you that you need to focus on stuff like content creation, like this, like I'm doing now. So why use Skype? So first of all, you need to go and give that person an excuse for talking to them via Skype. You know, why not just go and use Facebook? Give them a reason. Pretty much people, like, even if there's a stupid reason, when you give them a reason for something, they'll be pretty much very forgiving of most things. So your first level of social network is on Facebook. Okay, that's the first point of contact. Your inner circle, as we said, should be on Skype. So your Skype inner circle should consist of the people that are going to be most valuable to go and help you grow your business, as we said. These could be people like influencers, people who've got big networks on Facebook or off of Facebook as well, or people who've got great connections. Somebody, perhaps JV partners, you know, people that you could go and do a joint venture with, or affiliates and resellers, you know, affiliates that maybe will do a mailing for you, or somebody who's got a big fan page and is willing to go and do a swap with you. You say, hey, I'll promote your product on my fan page, you promote my product on your fan page, and vice versa. So those are the kinds of people, obviously, that you want to start getting into your inner circle on Skype. Now, some of the advantages on Skype, you're creating a backup for your contacts as well, and another avenue for communication. Not everyone is on Facebook 24/7, as we said, and Skype keeps a record of your conversations, and your messages will almost always be delivered, unlike email. Okay, so it's another reason it's powerful. It's more private than Facebook as well, and it's much more intimate. You're going to capture somebody's attention on Skype, especially if they're on video chat. They're probably not going to be multitasking, doing 100 things, because you can see their face. It's obviously easier than a telephone number. Click of a button and you can talk all day and night for free. You can leave status updates inside of Skype as well, and I advise you to go and do so. So, you know, there's one of my friends that's constantly changing their status, you know, just like you can on Facebook, you know, about 4 times a day. And, you know, it comes up and people will go and see that. You know, many people have got it switched on so they can see every time that somebody makes a status update that it notifies them. So if you keep changing your status on Skype, you're going to stay in people's faces the whole time. So how do you get people to share their Skype IDs with you? Well, after your second or third contact on Facebook, after that you've been accepted as a friend, you can request a Skype ID. You need a good excuse or a good reason, as we said, so that the transition seems natural. So first of all, ask a question. And this is a great question to ask, and I always ask this when I first go and connect with somebody, so that you can find out more about them and go and help them. You know, why does everybody, you know, it sounds a little bit arrogant to say, I'm not saying this from arrogance, but why does everybody love me? One of the reasons that people like me so much is because I always think, what is it that that person needs? And I meet their needs. I make sure to give them what it is that they need before they even ask me. My primary focus is, how can I cement this relationship by building that reciprocity, by giving something to them first. And by doing so, you build a great reciprocity. They want to give back to you when you do that. So ask them, what are you working on currently? What are your goals for the next 2 months in your business? And P.S., are you on Skype? Don't leave them your Skype ID in your message, because you're putting the ball in their court and you don't want to do that. You want to get their Skype ID, add them as a friend, so that you are the one who's taking that initiative and the controls with you. So when you find out what somebody's working on, go to Google, find out what's the latest on that subject, so that you're armed with at least 2 or 3 pieces of really useful information. And it also looks really, really professional of you when you show up and you've done your research on somebody. You know, people think, wow, you know, this person actually really takes their stuff seriously. So why would you want to go and find out all of that stuff? Because you want to be able to give something to them when you first go and connect with them that is of value to them. And if you tell them something that they don't know, that automatically, instantaneously builds credibility with them in their heads when they're speaking to you. Now, after the conversation that you've had with somebody, go to their wall, post that article, write a comment. You know, what do you think about X, whatever it is? I don't know. Let's say, what do you think about the Skype, you know, the Skype on Facebook's platform, if it was me, or whatever it is, okay? And, you know, think about that one thing, find something if you can, and ask which is the juiciest, most conversational part of that article. So find something that's juicy, it's got some great information in there, that's going to help them in their business, and then ask them about it, ask them what their opinion is, and start up that conversation. So now you've set yourself up for a real world conversation, and that you've got something legitimate to go and discuss as well. You know, you can do this either before or after or both. You know, you can do it before the Skype conversation that you have with them, post that article, do some research, you know, get them really thinking, wow, this guy's really provoked my thoughts. He's a thought-provoking guy. He's got great information. It's going to be fun to hook up with this person, or this person's going to really meet my needs. I'm going to get my needs met by this person. And obviously after that conversation, you can do the same again. So now you've got something to discuss. When people say yes to having the conversation with you, they're on Skype. You can instantly go and add them by searching for their name, and it looks congruent, like it's a natural flow to your relationship. Now, first of all, let's go talk about specifically the video face chat. So should you just be talking on Skype, or should you be using Facebook video chat? So telling your friends about your conversations, positioning yourself as a celebrity, as an authority in your niche or your market, is defined by who you hang with, not by your level of skill. Okay, this is one of the things that bothers people so much, but it's just a simple fact of life. You know, you've heard the expression, it's who you know. Well, it's absolutely true. When everybody sees you hanging out with people that are respected in your marketplace, they will automatically associate you with those people, and you will be esteemed, and you will kind of go up a rung in the ladder in the way that they look at you. It makes people see that you are hanging out with the cool cats, which is one of the reasons that, if you don't already, make sure that you go around with a camera, and anytime that there's a prestigious person, I don't care how pretentious that you feel this is, it's simple, it's a fact of life, and if you don't do it, you're going to get there slow. Take your picture with people that are really well known and post that stuff on Facebook too. So after a call, you can say, hey, I had a great call with put the sign and then the name of the person. So I can say I just had a great call with Ian David Chapman from and then you can put the name of the fan page, Crowd Conversion, for example. And I learned some amazing stuff about the subject, blah, whatever it is. And first of all, when you go tag that person, now you've got to reach into their friends network. And also everybody sees that you're hanging out with them, that you're talking with them in private, you're having conversations with them. The assumption is that you're friends, and you start to go and build that credibility. And guess what? If you compliment that person, when you say, hey, I learned something really, really great about XYZ, this person is a genius, Ian's a genius, well, Ian's going to feel complimented but be sincere. And if you're sincere and you compliment him, he's going to like you. It's as simple as that. So we touched on the concept of creating reciprocity. It's one of the things that I do best. And here's some really, really good questions to go and ask based on that subject. So first of all, ask the person, what kind of contacts would be the most valuable to you? So you've just asked them, what are you working on? What are your goals for the next month or two? And then they'll tell you, and then just ask them, in relationship to the project you just mentioned, I'm a really well-connected person. Just out of interest, maybe I'm sure there's probably people that I could connect you with. What kind of contacts would be the most valuable to you that will help you reach your goals on the project? Hook people up with your own contacts or become the middleman. Now, this is something that I really, really, I started out at the beginning and I thought, what am I going to do? I've got no leverage. I don't know anybody in this space. I started off in the personal development space. And at that point, I didn't really know any people, at least online. I knew some people offline. So what did I do? I connected with one person and I asked if I could interview them. Okay, so you could say, what I did personally, I set myself up with a Blog Talk radio show. So look up Blog Talk Radio. And I said, hey, I do a radio show every week and I'd love to be able to interview you. Would that be cool? And, get you more exposure and my people will really enjoy some great content. So, the guy said yes. And I'll never forget it, actually. I sent an email out to like 5 people and 1 out of the 5 said yes. And that 1 out of those 5 people who said yes, he literally launched my entire career because one person led to another. So I asked him these exact questions. What are you working on? He told me what kind of contacts would be most valuable to you, what kind of partners maybe would be most valuable to you on that project. And so what did I do? This guy was a pretty well-known guy. So I thought, who would be a really useful contact? And what I did is I went to the people who I thought would be a really good contact. And I said, hey, I just spoke to such and such. And, he's working on this project. And I think you two guys really would benefit from networking together and helping each other. I think you'll make a lot more money. Would you be up for meeting him? And then, guy number 2 says yes. So guess what I do? I become the middleman. And I hook them up together on a Skype chat because you can do conference calls on Skype. You can do it for free or for really, really cheap. If you're calling to a phone, even abroad, it costs you almost nothing. So I connected these 2 people together, okay? And I'm on the chat with them. Don't just do it by email because they will forget you, okay? You want them to remember you in their head. And I would connect these 2 people up together. They would do a venture and then they'd owe me. And I built up favors in the favor bank, a huge amount of favors in the favor bank. And that is the reason why people go and jump on me when I come to the stage. It's like, it's Robert Grant, and they go crazy. And the reason why is because I've done so much for them and I've helped so many of these people. And guess what? Suddenly, when I'm working on a product launch or I'm doing a big business venture or I want to make any kind of contact, these guys will open up their entire Rolodex for me and just give me the most glowing recommendations. When anybody asks, What's the one thing about Robert Grant? How would you go and define him? It's like the guy knows everyone. And I just make it my business to go and connect people like that. And it's just done me wonders, absolute wonders in my business. So you can start to leverage relationships like that, even if you only build one, okay? And don't be shy, just go out and do it. I was completely terrified when I first started out and I sent those 5 emails. But you know what? Wow, the results were just absolutely incredible, amazing. Give the person more than they feel they deserve when you contact them. Always leave them feeling like they've got value. Don't be one of these people who just speaks all about yourself on the phone when you speak to people, especially important business contacts. Because, no one likes a guy who's just selfish and is only speaking about themselves. Everybody likes someone who's there to meet their needs. So cool stuff you can do on Skype. So you can have a telephone number in any city in the world, giving you an instant international presence. I've got numbers all over the world, like US, Denmark, London, a bunch of places. And my clients can call me for free too, which they like. And it makes it easier for your customers and clients also to go and reach you who maybe don't use Skype. So you can have that Skype in number. Other things that you can do is you can hold mastermind calls. I've done many of them on Skype. So with a bunch of people get together, and I highly recommend that you do it. Really recommend that you do it. Go out and find yourself 3-4 people that will support you. Okay, with maybe contacts, you'll support each other. Okay, maybe with contacts, with feedback, all that kind of stuff. You can also do group conference calls too. You can share your screen with people and share files at the click of a button. You can record your conversations as well and interviews to go and make instant products that you can sell. It's a really good way. So let's say, hey, I do a radio show on Blog Talk Radio, blah, blah, blah. And you can do a Skype call. You can record the conversation with that person in the interview and just ask them, hey, I'm selling a product soon and I'd love this to be part of the product. And what I say to the people is this: I think it will be really beneficial to you. I'm sincere when I say this. I say to them, I think it will be really beneficial to you because if you do an interview and give some really good content to my customers, when we go, I'd love to be able to go and promote you maybe, a couple of weeks after I go do my product launch or whatever it is, and you will have built a great relationship with them and they'll be 50 times more likely to buy from you. And then I say, hey, yeah, that sounds cool. And they give me the interview, I record it, and I'll use it as part of a product. So say thank you. It's important. So for example, you can turn around to somebody and say, I don't know, I saw that you're into Cabernet Sauvignon wine, and I took the liberty to buy you a bottle of my favorite Cabernet. Do you have an address where I can send it to and send them something that's going to be of value? But, you have to sort of gauge it, whether it's cool to do that. So let's imagine you meet the person on Facebook and you connect with them. Then you go and you post an article that's going to really help them, something thought-provoking, ask their opinion. Now you've got them on Skype and you say, hey, I always do background research on the people that I deal with in business, and I always like to be the person who goes and makes a good impression. And I like to give first before I ask for anything back ever. And, I took the liberty of doing a little bit of research on you. And I'd love to go. I saw that you're into, in this case, Cabernet Sauvignon. So where can I go? I'd love to be able to send that to you. Is there an address that I can send it to you? There's a friend of mine called Sahel Khan. And he's got a great strategy. And he sends people a leather-bound copy of his book. And then he follows up with a phone call afterwards and says, hey, what did you think of the book? Blah, blah, blah. Sending people stuff is a great way to make them remember you, and it really, again, builds up that reciprocity. This is a good strategy that we used, and this is a great website, and it's called bakemeawish.com, and they have got the best cakes ever. Okay, so if you want to really impress somebody, and you want to make a good impression, and you want to build a relationship and reciprocity, go to bakemeawish.com and send them a cake. I actually did that with I built a relationship with one of the heads of department in Facebook, and he introduced me to a bunch of guys, and I sent in this, I think it was a chocolate brownie, triple chocolate brownie, I think it was, from bakemeawish.com, and everyone in the whole department was like, hey, you're the dude that sent in the cake, that was awesome. And they really appreciated that, and it made a big impression, and it's really affordable and super tasty. So you can use Skype or Facebook to get people's addresses and telephone numbers as well when you're on the phone. And you can just search on their contact details or just ask them directly. Knowing where a person lives and doing a little research on it gives you more subjects to go and talk about as well. You can use Skype or Facebook chat to go and ask people to make a comment on your fan page, blog post, or forum, etc. But if you do that too much and it's not in the right setting, it can be spammy if it's done too aggressively. Always remember that it's a two-way relationship and that you must reciprocate in some way. So another thing that you can do, and this is like, oh my God, super powerful, is remind JV partners to go and mail for you because you can see that they're online. Now, it needs to be done in a tasteful way. So let's say that you're doing a product launch. A really, really good strategy is you can turn around and say, hey, like, I don't know, you can go and pitch JVs against each other on Skype, for prizes and all that kind of stuff. So, for example, there's one guy that I know, tremendous at doing this kind of stuff, and he's a guy called Jonathan. And what he would do in the middle of a product launch, these guys were offering prizes to their JVs. And, if I sent, I can't remember what it was, I think it was like 1,000 leads in a day, I would win a cash prize or a Mac or a MacBook Pro or something like that. And he says, hey, did you Don just mailed, and by the way, he's only sent about 300 leads, so it'll be really, really easy for you to go and win that prize. And he was getting people on Skype and pitching them against each other all day long, and all the affiliates were mailing like crazy because he was pitching people against each other, telling me about the successes of the other affiliates, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And it's a great way, if you do it in the tasteful way, to go and, build that kind of, I don't know what the word is for it, motivation in the people that are supporting you. The other thing is, middle point, you can also see if they suddenly disappear and they're ignoring you. And if they are, then it's probably time to kind of, take a little bit a step back and sort of slow things down. So another really, really powerful strategy is give people insider information. Everybody loves a secret, okay? Insider information about what's going on in the market that's really going to help those people that you speak to. You can live share your screen. You can take them into your back end to go show off your products or your services, but don't brag, okay? I know some people that do this and they go on for like 30 minutes speaking about their product. It's like, I don't really care about your product. Why are you doing this? It has to be relevant and it has to be tasteful, and you have to gauge, That's why video chat is especially powerful, because at least you can see the person's face. So when you do stuff like that and you show, you take people into your back end, if you do it in the right way, it creates a greater sense of trust and transparency. Link to your freebies, give them something of value, link to your products, link to your services. So Bill Crosby, this is actually very clever. He writes this on his Skype as his status, and it says, I'm looking to work with a select group of entrepreneurs. My rates start at $700 an hour. Now, why does he do that? Because he's building immediate value. He's got his whole inner circle on Skype, and he's building his immediate value because people say, wow, well, he charges $700 an hour. He must be a person who's worth a lot of money. Okay, so he's built a credibility there. You're automatically showing people your value and what you do by doing so. So another great strategy, this is naughty, is if you appear on or offline intermittently. So you keep going offline and then back online, Skype will go and put a message up that will tell people, it says Robert has just come online. So you keep being reminded of Robert if you keep going off and online on Skype. Put your message that you want them to be reminded of in your mood. Okay, so you're allowed to go and put in a mood. And it can say, I don't know what, I'm partying on my roof today, whatever it is. I just had a great success, so happy, about to go crack open a bottle of champagne. I just launched my Facebook ads agency. Whatever it is that is relevant to those people, and, maybe even something humorous that they're going to remember you by and you stick in their heads. Another naughty strategy is you can either use an A or an asterisk in your name. What's the reason? Well, if you're an A, you're going to come up top of the Skype list, or an asterisk is going to appear at the very, very top. So here's an example. There's the asterisk. So Ian's got 2 asterisks, and then it says Ian David Chapman straight afterwards. And in the mood, you can see here that you've gone and you've added your links. So conclusions. If you haven't got a Skype ID, go and get one now, or skype.com. Get your Facebook account set up for video calling. Skype and Facebook are tools that you should be using no matter what business that you're in, honestly. It's the best way to go and manage your inner circle of contacts. This has been a pleasure going and sharing this with you. It's one of my most exciting subjects as it's just done so much for me. And I strongly recommend that you use the strategies that I mentioned here to go and start connecting people together. And believe me that if you do it in the right way, you really, really will reap the rewards. This is Robert Grant. I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.